Hello and welcome back to the Wrexham Way. Hope you're all doing well and looking forward to today's episode as we take on Leeds United and West Ham United in the Premier League. I still can't quite believe we're saying the Premier League. It doesn't quite feel right to me just yet, but we're here on merit and actually doing pretty well so far. So if you are looking forward to today's episode, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. Because we haven't played too many games in between episodes, there's not really anything much to update you on other than what's happened in between episodes in terms of the games that we've played. So you were last here for the big 2-0 win against Sheffield United. That was pretty exciting. Wrexham with the 2 goals early on in that game. We then got brought right back down to earth with a 4-0 loss to Southampton away from home. I guess it was coming to us, to be fair. That was obviously the baptism of fire of the Premier League. Rodrigo, interestingly, scored 3 of the goals for Southampton. He joined them from Real Madrid a few seasons ago, and as you can see from this season so far, has played well in 1 game against us. Following that, we had a 1-0 win away from home against Derby County in the EFL Cup second round. We rotated the team massively, as you can probably see from the team lineup on the right-hand side of the screen here. And actually, Escobar scoring the goal there has maybe put him in my first team plans a little bit because Fink has not played particularly well thus far this season. We then had Brighton at home in the next game, and we had an entertaining 3-3 draw with them. And I'll tell you what, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw from 3 Premier League games so far, I think is a pretty decent return. Obviously, we need to stop conceding so many goals. 7 goals conceded in 3 games is not great, but we also have kept a clean sheet. So, I don't know. There's things to work on, there's things to improve, but we're always going to get better, I think. So obviously very early on in the season so far, but we are currently 15th with 4 points on the board. A few teams on 1 point, and Everton so far from 4 games have got 0 points on the board. We are the last game to kick off this game week, so hopefully a win takes up to 7 points, could actually put us inside the European places again, which would be lovely. So for now, we are going to be sticking with the 4-2-2-2. It's working relatively well so far, and I'm kind of excited to see how it could go. So Andriucci stays in goal with the same backline as it was last episode. Timon, Thomas Parry, Camboire, and Dylan. Herrera and Ostergaard are still playing in the centre of midfield. Pizarro and Rebergen on the wings. And actually, the only change from last episode is Escobar as the pressing forward and Roxvarg up front as opposed to Fink in the pressing forward role. I'll tell you what, one thing has changed. Haikaro's gone out on loan to Hull. He's kind of our 5th choice centre mid this season. So he's gone to Hull in the Championship on loan for the season. That's the only sort of thing that's majorly happened in between episodes. But as we submit the team, let's try and manifest some good thoughts and hope that we can get back to winning ways today. Now, today is Friday as we are... Now, this video should be coming out on Friday night. This weekend, it's Streamer Showdown on Saturday and Sunday night, which means that we're going to have some earlier uploads in the day on Saturday and Sunday, maybe 4 o'clock or so, potentially, as Canate scores the opening goal of the game over Andriucci. Maybe should have done better in that instance. He was brilliant in that first game of the season, and brilliant against Derby County too, I must say, although he didn't have much to do against Derby County. But in the other games, I think it is showing his weaknesses a little bit. But life in the Premier League is good so far. You know, obviously, if we can get 4 points from every 3 games that we play, I think we're looking pretty decent for a decent season. But I don't think in practicality we're going to be getting 3 points from, or 4 points from every 3 games, I should say. Well, I wasn't quite expecting this to actually be a goal. I thought it was one of those highlights where the highlight builds up to a free kick which does nothing, so I didn't bother talking. I thought I'd catch my breath instead. No. Leeds 2, Wrexham 0. Now, I think Leeds are probably the first team that we are playing who are properly better than us, I must say. Sheffield United, obviously, well, all the teams are better than us, but I think Leeds are going to be that next step up from the Southamptons, from the Sheffields, from the Brightons. In fact, I kind of want to show you, if I can find it. If I can pick on Paul Dillon, for example. If we go back to the fixtures and we go back to this 3-3 draw with Brighton, we had 26 shots to their 7. Like, we dominated that game. It was really good. I just want to prove that to you before we get battered by Leeds here today, I mean, we do have other formations we can move to this season to, you know, try. We can bring our wing-backs back to be midfielders once again, like we did a few seasons ago, which was pretty good. Although I'm not quite sure many of them are actually that comfortable in the right midfielder role. But still, we can bring them back into that sort of position anyway, as Dallas dances around the ball on the edge of the area. We've also got, of course, the 5 at the back system that we used all the way back in Season 1, Season 2, when we were a very, very small team. They weren't expecting much at all. We've still got that formation saved and we could potentially use it. And I think we do have the players to utilise that for... Football Manager's crashed. The game crashed. That's never happened to me before. Game crash whilst in the 3D match engine. Send crash report information. There we go. We'll send it off to help SI solve these problems for the future. That's never happened before. Mental. I mean, at this stage, what do I do? I mean, I guess the only thing we can do is just replay the match, right? Even though we were 2-0 down, which feels wrong. I don't know what to do. It's the only thing we can do. I hope the save file isn't corrupted. I mean, that would be absolutely terrible. No, we look okay. Right. Well, okay then. Cool. I don't know about you lot, but I feel like we've played this game before at some point in the past. It seems so weird to me. Are you guys getting deja vu as well? Imagine if we win this now. Imagine if we absolutely batter them as Robergan comes forward. Please score a goal. Oh no. I don't know why I'm complaining. It's benefited us so far. It feels dirty though. This has literally never happened before. Like in all of my time creating Football Manager content. It has never crashed on me whilst recording an episode or anything like that. And it's 1-1 pretty quickly. But potentially offside there. Potentially offside? No offside, okay. Okay, well, Paul Dillon then with a long throw into the middle, which is turned into the back of the net by Roxvarg. I feel like the keeper's had an absolute mare there. And now another chance at the other end of the pitch. Aarons takes a short free kick as Harrison gets it into Maddie, the goal scorer. Somehow our defence have not cut that out, but Andreucci is lucky to make a decent save there. And I think the highlight is continuing. Okay, Andreucci hoofs it clear to the defenders of Leeds United. They can just come straight back to us. And once again, they are through. And once again, can they get the shot away? They can, and they score. Well, at least Leeds have scored their 2 goals now. And pretty much in the same time that they scored their 2 goals in the first kind of ghost game, whatever we want to call it. We've scored 2 goals, which is much nicer as well. But defensively, maybe we do need to just switch things up a little bit. Maybe we need to drop one of our strikers potentially and then put them to be a defensive midfielder just to sort of sit in front of that back line. I think maybe it's worth trying that out a little bit. I think we do need that extra bit of defensive help, but I quite like having 2 strikers. I think it does work very nicely. And we've got a lot of strikers at the club as well. If we could just have 12 players, like, is that in the rule book somewhere? Can we have 12 players? Because that would solve all of our issues. That would allow us to have 2 strikers and a CDM. So if someone can write to the FA, please, and ask if Wrexham can have 2 strikers because, I don't know, they asked nicely. That would be lovely. As Pizarro, gosh, really should have crossed that. How selfish do you want to be? Roxvarg was literally free for an open goal. You hate to see it. Robergan's corner, Thomas Parry, wide. Oh, and there's a highlight just before half-time. It's going in. It's going in. I know it's going in. At the start of the second half, though, we have a free kick which Roxvarg just puts near absolutely no one. Thanks a lot, mate. It's much help there, as Meslier now can bring the ball out from the back. This Leeds game has been pretty entertaining, I must say. Plenty of action in that first half. I'd love for us to get in there in the second half and prove that we are a pretty decent team. We can match it with the best of them, but I don't know. This is now 10 goals we've conceded in 4 Premier League games. I think maybe we need to actually probably reassess things at the back a little bit. I think the opening game this season against Sheffield United was just an absolute miracle. Like a clean sheet and 2 goals scored without much resistance. I just think maybe... But then also the game against Brighton where we had 26 shots. We were excellent in that game, just defensively poor. Oh, it is very confusing to know what to do. Because on paper, I'd say we're doing pretty well right now. I mean, as long as we're not in the bottom 3, I think we are doing exceptionally well. Like, I am fully expecting us to get relegated this season. I know we will do. I know we should do. So if we can, like, just stay out the relegation zone all season, for as long as that happens, we're doing well. And then that makes you think, let's not change formation because it's working. We're not in the relegation zone. So I don't really know, basically. I think maybe we just kind of just keep doing what we're doing, and then we'll slowly get better and better players, won't we, to fill out the positions and stuff like that as we get better and better. I don't know. I really don't know what the best course of action is going to be. My mind says go defensive. It's the best way to do it as we concede a 4th goal. My heart is telling me stick with what we've got. Make it work. It worked excellently against all odds in the Championship. Let's see what happens. And I don't think we've been massively outplayed. Possession's 50-50 pretty much. They've had more chances than us and stuff like that, and that's, I suppose, to be expected. And they are currently 2nd in the Premier League, so they've had a very, very good start to the season. They're clearly a very good team as well, so I don't think we can ever really expect us to do much against them. As I've just realised that it's 86 minutes, I've not made any subs, I'm too busy talking about if we go defensive or not. I mean, really, action, Tom, is what's needed. Action, not just talking about it. Action, particularly when we're losing 4-2. But watch this. Rebergen's through. We're going to score a goal here. I can feel it. I can feel the goal coming as Rebergen puts it into Ostergaard, who nearly scores. Well, a 4-2 loss. You did yourselves proud, lads. I think we did play well. Well, apart from conceding 4 goals. You can't really say that, can you? But I feel like we are. Basically, any game that we're not losing 5-0, I'm feeling pretty impressed by. But West Ham are just as good, pretty much, and we're also playing away from home to them. So maybe for this next game, we try a CDM, just to see how it fits and works. We've also got Leicester in the EFL Cup 3rd round as well. I'm pretty sure we'll lose that round as well, because Leicester are very, very good. So I don't think we'll win the EFL Cup this season, but I'd like to think now we're in the Premier League, like we could maybe put some emphasis on winning an FA Cup. Like, that would be pretty nice. I mean, that's going to be our quickest route to Europe. Our absolute quickest route to Europe is winning the FA Cup. In the meantime, we've got some new scouts joining the club. We now have the ability to scout the entire world, and we also have a couple of extra, if I can find on here somewhere. Where is it? Where's scouting? Staff, right. We've got 8 scouts available to us. What I might do is actually ask the board for more. Make a board request, staff, scouts, add scouts. This is all wages. We can't add scouts. Recruitment analysts, yes, but not add scouts. That's annoying. Now, I kind of want to save this for a video, but I'm going to ask for an affiliate club as well. And I want this to improve our scouting knowledge elsewhere, because I think we need to try and take advantage of that. And I think the board will say no. Of course they say no. They absolutely hate anything that I suggest. I'm going to just keep convincing them that this is needed. No. I literally hate the chairman. The chairman, I hate him so much. We keep getting messages of takeover rumours all the time, and it just never happens. Oh, wait. Did they agree with me? But okay, I take it back. Board, I love you. They're letting me choose the club. I just didn't read it. I just didn't read. Okay. Well, we can choose a club to make a partnership with then. Right. This is good. I'll be honest, I was expecting better clubs than this, but okay. I feel like we've got the choice of like Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Romania. I feel Hungary as well. Oh, have we got Pushka's Academy on here somewhere? Because I could be tempted by them. If they are on there, I have no idea if they are on there or not. We've got loads more clubs down here actually. Germany, Bulgaria, Finland, Spain are on there as well, but they're quite low down. What do we not have much knowledge of? Like if we look in general at, I don't know, Eastern Europe, we don't know much about Romania. We don't know much about Austria. That's Austria, isn't it? So maybe the Romanian club is the one to go for. Just so that would really boost our knowledge of Romania. But is Romania that important? It might be. I mean, it's right down here, Romania. It's one of the least countries that we know about. And it's this guy, and this guy knows a little bit about Romania, apparently. Do Romania make good regens? I don't know if they do. I feel like the Czech Republic make better ones, and that makes you think the Czech Republic is the better one to go for rather than Romania. I feel like Dukla Prague are usually pretty good at developing young players. I feel like I've got some good regens from them in the past. They're a decent team in the Czech Republic, aren't they? And I think the Czech Republic probably produced the best regens from the sort of top list of ratings and stuff like that. So let's choose Prague. Confirm. And the board have set that link up with Dukla very quickly. So that's good. Obviously, the whole point of this is to send players on loan to them, which is quite good. But I think the scouting is the most important part. We've got a team report from them. This might actually show us the potential of some of these players. And to be fair, these two 19-year-olds have got 4-star potential. I'm trying to, big this up a little bit. But let's get full scouting knowledge on them. We could find some wonder kids there. Anyway, the West Ham game is coming up right now, and I think we'll do it. We'll bring Escobar back to sort of sit in there a little bit. Roxvar will go up front on his own, but would have to be an advance forward instead. You can't have a false 9 there. Escobar will then come off, and I think it might actually be the guy from Peru who's maybe the best CDM that we've got potentially. If I can actually click on the, the drop-down menu for players in that position, yeah, he is. As a DM, could we have him playing a little bit more as a halfback or an anchor? I think an anchor would be quite good. Have him just sitting in there. It's worth trying out for a game. Right, so kickoff is upon us here today. I've just realised as well, Rebergen's on the wrong role. He should be an inverted winger on attack, not a winger. Inverted winger on attack, because him and Lorca have to play different roles to suit their best foot, basically. So when Lorca plays, he's the winger. When Rebergen plays, he's an inverted winger. So we have to swap them around all the time. I've obviously forgotten to do that since Lorca last played, as Andriucci makes a good save there as West Ham try to come forward. But 60 minutes into this game, we've not conceded. So I feel like we are making progress there. I'm just getting up. How do I do this? Honestly, I think I do this. I don't know why it's showing goal line technology here. We saw it in the back of the net. I don't know what this bit's about. But I don't know how I do it. I mean, almost every other episode, I feel like I properly jinx myself. Anyway, we've dropped back to having a CDM in the team. And look at this. 0 shots in this first half. Absolute 0 shots. Compared to 26 that we had against Brighton. And no penalty given there. What on earth is that about? So, I mean, automatically, I'm starting to think now, CDM is out of the question. I'd rather concede like 6 goals. But lads, I was joking. Right? I don't actually want to concede 6 goals. The point I was trying to make, though, is I'd rather concede some goals, but actually have shots in a game. So we lost 4-2 to Leeds, but I felt like we did fairly well. I felt like we played fairly well. This game, West Ham, to only 2-0 down. We've not conceded 4, but I feel like we are playing absolutely terribly. I'm not standing up anymore either, because... Right, well... There's work to do here, isn't there? There's work to do here. And I think automatically we just go back to 2 strikers. I mean, what on earth was this about? Why do we think this is going to work? It was a terrible idea. Bradley Fink on you come as a pressing forward, please, on attack. That would be lovely if you could do that. Everyone else just go back to playing well, please. Pizarro is going to come off for Jacobson because neither of them are playing particularly well. Herrera's not really hit the ground running in the UK, which is rather frustrating. So I think Galbraith comes on for him as well. And automatically, I think we've had 2 shots. Although I could be lying to you. I'm not quite sure when those 2 shots happened. But as Roxvarg flicks it on to Kurt Zuma at the back there. I mean, this is the West Ham team that are very good as well. Let's not forget that the teams we're playing today are very good in Leeds and West Ham. As Fink... Right, 2 strikers immediately. Well, they can't score still, but 2 strikers, we have a great chance. We've got to stick with 2 strikers. Maybe what we do then is look to bring our attacking midfielders back to midfielders, just bring them further back the pitch to have a solid 4-4-2 like we used to have a few seasons ago in the Championship when we first started off there. You know, sometimes these things have to happen. It's a big learning curve at the start of the Premier League, and we're still 16th as the table stands right now, which is not bad going. Like, we're not in the relegation zone, and like I say, as long as we're not in the relegation zone, I'm happy. But, for example, we could move Pizarro back there, Rebergen back there. The issue is, do they like playing in those positions? And the answer is no for Rebergen. Pizarro, not really. And that's maybe where some of the issues are going to lie. Now, I think Lorca does prefer it. He can play a bit further back. I don't think Jacobson likes playing further back, although he can play further back if he wanted to. So, I don't know. Rebergen's one of our best players. Maybe we just have to do this instead, potentially. And then obviously have the two-striker system going instead up here like that. If I can not click on Roxvar, go on to false 9 support and pressing forward on attack. Maybe that's the way to do it, potentially. Maybe that's how we fix it. I'll try a few things out in between episodes, see what happens, but I don't know. Now, we thought today was hard. Tomorrow's going to be harder. Man United, Man City. Whose idea was that? So thank you very much for watching today's episode. A bit of a weird one with the crash and, well, me jinxing everything as well. It's not been ideal, but we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere in the Premier League, and I think today's a reality check. That's what it is. So until tomorrow, have a lovely evening. I will see you soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.